Welcome. Today, we're diving into the world of Claude's new skill feature and exploring why it might quietly replace the older MCP, or Model Context Protocol. If you've ever tried to extend Claude with MCP, you know how powerful it can be, but also how cumbersome and overwhelming it sometimes feels. With the introduction of skills, things are about to get much simpler, more efficient, and, honestly, a lot more enjoyable for developers and teams alike. Let's break down what makes skills such a game changer and why they could be the future of AI tool integration. So, what exactly is a skill in the context of Claude? In the simplest terms, a skill is a combination of a prompt and a set of tools or files that Claude can access when needed. Think of it as a modular package that tells Claude how to handle specific tasks, using only the resources it actually needs. This approach is both elegant and practical, making it easy to extend Claude's capabilities without unnecessary complexity. The setup is straightforward, and the benefits are immediately noticeable. Setting up a skill is refreshingly simple. All you need is a directory structure under Claude divided by skills, with each skill having its own folder. Inside, you'll typically find a skill.md file, which is where the magic happens. This file usually starts with a small YAML header that tells Claude when to use the skill, followed by markdown instructions on how to apply it. You might also include a few helper scripts or prompts, but the core logic lives in skill.md. This structure keeps everything organized and easy to manage. The clever part about skills is that Claude only loads the full instructions when it actually decides to use that skill. This means there's no wasted tokens and no overstuffed context window. Unlike MCP, which loads everything up front, skills are efficient and only bring in what's necessary at the right moment. This makes the whole process much more streamlined and responsive, allowing Claude to operate faster and with less overhead. MCP was like giving Claude a toolbox filled with every possible tool, even if you only needed a single nail. Each MCP bundle adds thousands of tokens because it has to describe every tool, and unless you guide Claude carefully, it can get stuck or confused. Skills flip this approach. Only the relevant information is loaded, and only when it's needed. This makes the system sleek, quick, and much easier to work with, especially for complex projects. Look at a real-world example. There's a shadcn-MCP bundle that includes functions like get, project, registries, list, items, in, registries, search, items, in, registries, and more. To describe all these tools, you'd need around 4,200 tokens just for the setup. That's a lot of overhead, and it can make the system sluggish and harder to maintain. This is the kind of complexity that skills are designed to eliminate. Now, imagine transforming that entire MCP bundle into a single skill. Instead of thousands of tokens, your skill, MD, might only need a brief description, a use case, and a few markdown lines explaining the workflow. For example, a shadcn-helper skill could be described in fewer than 70 tokens, making it much cleaner and easier to manage. This is a huge leap in efficiency and clarity. One fun example of a skill is the slack-gif-creator. This small script creates a GIF for any topic and perfectly illustrates how skills function. The entire description is brief, but once triggered, Claude executes a workflow, writes some Python, calls a helper function, and generates a GIF. It's simple, effective, and shows how skills can encapsulate useful, reusable logic without unnecessary bulk. Let's peek under the hood of the slack-gif-creator skill. The code is straightforward. It uses Python's pill library to create a series of images, draws text on each frame, and then saves them as a GIF. All of this is contained within the skill, so you can easily replace or improve the function without affecting the rest of your setup. This modularity is a big advantage for ongoing development. Here's where things get really interesting. You can build skills for your own code base, essentially creating a developer knowledge base tailored to your team's needs. Each folder under Claude divided by skills divided by can contain prompts, helper scripts, or notes for Claude to follow. This allows you to encode best practices, workflows, and even company-specific guidelines directly into Claude's environment. What kinds of skills can you create? The possibilities are endless. For example, you might have a skill that explains how to name components so they fit your design system, another that guides safe database migrations, or one that details how to add new routes without breaking anything. Each skill acts as a mini expert, ready to help Claude handle your team's unique workflows. By building and organizing skills, you're essentially explaining to Claude how your team operates. This means Claude can follow your processes, respect your conventions, and even help onboard new team members by sharing institutional knowledge. It's a powerful way to make AI truly work for your organization, not just as a generic assistant, but as a tailored collaborator. Looking ahead, it seems likely that MCP will fade out over time. Why? Because a skill can load MCP tools programmatically if needed, but without all the bulk and complexity. Skills are lightweight, modular, and efficient, making Claude feel like it truly understands your project. The future is about smart, focused tools that adapt to your needs, not one-size-fits-all solutions. To sum it up, if MCP was like a Swiss Army knife with every blade open at once, a skill is the same knife, but it only flips open what you need, when you need it. This analogy captures the essence of why skills are so much smarter and more practical for real-world use. It's about simplicity, speed, and making AI work the way you want. In conclusion, Claude Skills represent a major step forward in how we extend and customize AI tools. They're simple to set up, easy to maintain, and incredibly efficient. Whether you're building for a small team or a large organization, Skills offer the flexibility and power you need without the baggage of MCP. As AI continues to evolve, Skills are poised to become the new standard for smart, adaptive workflows.